Good morning everyone, how you doing? It's Paul here from Unusual Things. Now I am out very early this morning. It's just gone 8 o'clock, but it's still very dark, but it probably looks bright on the video. Hopefully the camera picks up. Now I should have put my waterproof shoes on because this place has flooded overnight and I got some trainers on, which is probably not the best idea at the moment. Anyway, anyway, today we have come to find the final resting place of Wilfred Brambell. Now, of course, Wilfred Brambell was one of the double act to play Steptoe and Son, with Harry H. Corbett, of course, playing his son Harold, and Wilfred played Albert, and of course he was a rag and bone man as well. So I'll tell you a little bit more about his life real soon. Now, like I say, we're in Streatham Park Cemetery and Crematorium. It's quite a big place actually. I didn't realise how big a place it was, but yeah, I've been informed that you're not supposed to film in here. However, when has that ever stopped us? But you know, we'll keep it low key. We're here nice and early as usual. Now, don't forget, if you like the video today, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. And I want to say, you know, a massive happy new year to you all. It's the first video of 2024, so happy new year and welcome to everyone. I've got to say a big thank you to new members, new subscribers, people that are new to the channel, and also a massive thank you to all the guys and girls that constantly watch and support and have been there for nearly 2 years now. We've been doing it, which is great. It's fantastic. So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit more about Wilfred Brambell, and just keep watching, guys. No matter who it is, you might learn something. I learn something new all the time doing this. So yeah, if you can, just keep watching, and we'll carry on now, shall we? I'll tell you a little bit more about Wilfred Brambell. So Brambell was born on the 22nd of March 1912 in Dublin. And he was the youngest of 3 sons to Henry Lytton Brambell, 1870 to 1937, and cashier at the Guinness Brewery. And of course his wife, Edith Marks, 1879 to 1965, who was a former opera singer. Now I've got to get out of this man's way, because he's a good lad. Have a good one. And I was chatting to him outside, and bless him. He doesn't know yet, but he's going to be on video, which is quite good because he lives up this sort of way, but his son comes from Portsmouth, so I was having a good chat with him. Anyway, let's get back to it. So Brambell's first experience as an actor was as a child entertaining the wounded troops during the First World War. And after leaving school, he worked part-time as a reporter for the Irish Times and part-time as an actor at the Abbey Theatre before becoming a professional actor at the Gate Theatre. In the Second World War, he joined the British Military Forces Entertainment Organisation, ENSA, and his television career began during the 1950s when he was first cast in small roles in 3 Nigel Neal Rudolph Cartier productions for the BBC television as a drunk in Quatermass Experiment, 1953, as both an old man in a pub and later a prisoner in 1984, which was 1954, and as a tramp in Quatermass 2, 1955. Wow, look at this. Look, flooded. It has been proper flooded up here. Now, all of these roles earned Brambell a reputation for playing an old man. Despite being aged in his 40s, he appeared in the short film series Scotland Yard in the episode Grand Junction Case. He was heard on the original London cast recording of long-running West End stage musical The Canterbury Tales, in which he starred in London's Phoenix Theatre. Now, it was Brambell's ability to play an old man that got him the role of Albert Steptoe, of course, in Steptoe and Son, even though he was literally only 13 years older than Harry H. Corbett. In 1962 was when he took up the role. This is quite an eerie cemetery, I love it. That over there is freaky. It looks like it's been completely flooded. Now, the role of Steptoe and Son earned Brambell complete recognition wherever he went, and also landed him the part in the Beatles film A Hard Day's Night, playing Paul McCartney's grandfather. Try not to get run over down here. And in the film itself, they refer to him as a nice old man, whereas you watch all of the Steptoe and Son episodes, and of course he's constantly referred to as a dirty old man. But he was completely different in real life to what he was with his character, because in real life he was a very well-spoken person. And of course in Steptoe and Son he's got his Cockney accent, and he's, you know, his grammar's terrible and the way he speaks is awful. But in real life, he's a very, very, very well-spoken man. Now, as I said earlier on, he notably spoke with a distinct received pronunciation accent in strong contrast to his Cockney Steptoe accent. In 1965, Brambell told the BBC that he did not want to do another series of Steptoe and Son, and in September that year, he travelled to New York City to appear in the Broadway musical Kelly at the Broadhurst Theatre. And it closed after a single performance. Now, I don't know why. I looked into it, but I couldn't find out as to why it closed after a single performance. Now, after the final series of Steptoe and Son concluded in 1974, Brambell had some guest roles in films and on television. He and Corbett also undertook a tour of Australia and New Zealand in 1977 in a stage production based on Steptoe and Son. He achieved recognition in many films. And in 1982, he appeared in Terence Davies' film Death and Transfiguration, playing a dying elderly man who finally comes to terms with his homosexuality. His performance in the short film, a segment of the Terence Davies trilogy, 1983, won him critical acclaim. Brambell appears throughout the full 24-minute piece, but he does not speak a single word. Now, that is a great skill to have as an actor, is to be able to star in something, not say a single word, and yet pull off a performance where you get acclaim for. Not many actors can do that. Now, in 1982, Brambell appeared on the BBC News, and he was paying tribute to, of course, Harry H. Corbett after his death from a heart attack. In 2002, Channel 4 broadcast a documentary film When Steptoe Met Son about the off-screen life of Brambell and his relationship with Corbett. The film claimed that the two men detested each other and were barely on speaking terms after the Australian tour. The claimed rift was supposedly caused in part of Brambell's alcoholism and supposedly evidenced by the pair leaving the country on separate planes. Now, that claim that the two had had a rift and left on separate planes was disputed by Golden and Simpson, of course, the writers of Steptoe and Son. And they said that they literally left on separate planes because Harry H. Corbett was off on holiday, going to meet his family. And Wilfred Brambell was just coming back. Now, they were together for nearly a year in Australia, but they went on several sightseeing tours together. So the claim that there was some sort of issue between them was purely played down by the fact that, as I said, Harry H. Corbett was going on a family holiday. Brambell was married to Mary Josephine Hall, known as Molly, from 1948 to 1955, but they divorced after she gave birth to their lodger's baby in 1955. In 1962, Brambell was arrested for persistently being near a toilet in Shepherd's Bush. What he was doing in there has not really been made public, but he was conditionally discharged. And it wasn't until later, many years after he passed, that people started saying that he was a homosexual, which he vehemently denied. However, at his funeral, a gentleman by the name of Raymond was there, who was believed to have been his partner. So it's one of those things that Not that it matters, it doesn't matter what his sexuality is, but it's one of those things that obviously during that time that he was alive, and of course in the public eye, you know, the laws were different back then and people's viewpoints were different back then. And sadly he denied, if that was the case, that he denied it vehemently throughout his whole life. And it wasn't until many years afterwards that it sort of started to come out a little bit more that he was. But like I say, it shouldn't matter, should it? People should be judged on who they are as a person and his ability as an actor as well. Now, Wilfrid Brambell died at his home, age 72, on the 18th of January 1985 and was cremated a week later here. It's known that his ashes were put under tree 3. So we are now going to go and find tree 3. I'm not sure if there's a plaque or not. A member of staff said there was years ago, but it's not there anymore. So we have to take their word for it. So we're going to have a little look now for tree 3. There's a beautiful little memorial gardens here. It's very cold this morning. That's tree 2. Okay, I've been looking for tree 3, and do you know what? I think I found it. So here we have tree 3, and this is where Wilfrid Brambell had his ashes put down. And it says there, this tree is a communal scatter area, and due to space restrictions, the items listed below are not permitted to be placed here. So obviously it's got things like planting of flowers and things like that. Now I've just had a good look around, and there isn't a plaque here for Wilfrid. So like I say, I've been having a good look around and there isn't a plaque here for Wilfrid at all. But what we can do is, of course, touch the ground there and say a massive thank you to Wilfrid for his contribution to such a funny programme in Steptoe and Son, and such a great entertainer and actor and comedy person. So thank you, Wilfrid. So there we have it, the final resting place under tree 3 there. The ashes of Wilfrid Brambell, where they've been strewn across. Now, I was being a bit quiet there because there was literally a groundsman just standing there staring at me, looking at, you know, and you just get stared at for whatever reason. It's up to him, I don't mind. But you know, you're trying to do your job. You get like, and then his mate come along, just started peering, what's going on here? But yeah, that's where Wilfrid Brambell is. And of course, we've got to hear about his life today. So if you liked the video today, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a thing. And of course, hit that thumbs up button, notifications, all the rest of it. And yeah, leave me your comments about Wilfrid Brambell. Did you like him? Did you think he's a very talented man? Or was he one of those blokes that in character made your skin crawl? I love Steptoe and Son. It's one of my favourite TV shows from that era in terms of comedy. And together, they were amazing. Anyway, from this very cold Streatham Park Cemetery, I will see you all on the next one. Take it easy.